We are here for the latest installment of How to Fix Your Marketing. And today we're going to be talking about something very specific. We're going to be talking about some very important concepts you need to implement in your marketing. We're going to talk about, are you making these mistakes in your marketing? And those of you marketing aficionados will recognize that had the modification to the very famous headline that campaign was originally used to run. So, are you making these marketing mistakes? Let's talk about what some of the most common mistakes are in marketing. Number one, being boring. I believe that is the biggest marketing mistake. Being boring. If you think about it, your customers, your clients, your prospects, your patients, they are inundated with marketing messages all day long. Whether it's online, whether it's social media, whether it's a billboard, restaurant, signs they're driving by, they are being inundated. I think it's between 5,000 and 10,000 times a day, the number of marketing messages that are shown to us. My family and I recently over spring break went on vacation to Myrtle Beach, and on the drive-in, there's a stretch of road that has billboards for the interactive pirate dinner. It's the pirate dinner theater place, and there were billboards like the whole way for the pirate place. It was crazy. We ended up having a bet after the first 10. We started to have a betting pool going on in the car about how many they were going to be. And I think it was like 26 billboards in a row. Pretty much all with different pictures on them, but pretty much all for all the same copy. So at one point, my son was like, "Oh man, we should not go to that place," just to negatively reinforce that they had too many billboards. And then all the other kids were like, "Oh, look, another pirate sign. Oh, look, another pirate sign. We got to go check it out. If they got this many billboards, it's got to be good. If they can afford to pay for all these, they must be doing really, really well." So if our customers, if our prospects are getting inundated with marketing messages all day long, you can't be boring, because if you are boring, you will not stand out. You have to, the first obstacle you've got to overcome to get anyone interested in your product or service is you have to get their attention, which obviously with more and more clutter in the marketplace is harder and harder to do, especially if you are boring. Now, if you think about it, in the financial services industry, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus here, but if I take a look at the corporate brochure from, let's say, Morgan Stanley about wealth management, and I take a look at the Merrill Lynch brochure, and I take a look at the Raymond James brochure and the Edward Jones brochure, other than the logos, pretty much they're all saying the same thing, right? Edward Jones isn't claiming that they can do something that Raymond James can't. If you took the logo off the Merrill Lynch brochure and replaced it with Morgan Stanley, pretty much almost all the information is still true. So that's being boring, right? Doesn't stand out. It doesn't capture attention. It's not going to get results. Second mistake people make when marketing their businesses. Number two, so we talked about being boring. Number two is there is no tracking mechanism. There is no way for them to know who is responding. So for example, if you're a car dealer and I see car commercial ads, TV, let's say I didn't DVR past it, and it's an image, the Jeep is driving off road and then on a winding highway in California, and they're out camping and they're having fun. That's great. But it doesn't actually sell any, it doesn't actually trackably sell Jeeps, right? Unless let's say you're a car dealer, and here's my example. If you're a car dealer, if your TV commercial says, "Come down on Saturday from 10 to 2. We will have clowns and magicians and hot dog we're grilling and give away hot dogs and hamburgers, and we're having a party, and come. And if you get in, you have to mention this ad and code hot dog. You have to say the person at the door, the bouncer is going to ask you what the code is. If you say hot dog, you get in and have your free hot dogs, and you get to check out the new concept car. And if you don't say the word hot dog, you don't get in." Now I can track exactly how many responses I get, right? Because how many people show up and say the word hot dog? They saw it on the TV. We now know how many people responded. If it's just an ad of, "Hey, let's say," I'll throw them under the bus here, Billy Fusillo yelling on TV going, "We got Toyotas at $19,999. Come on down." Doesn't say when to come on down. There's no trackable magnet. It doesn't say mention code Rachel Ray because you saw me on the Rachel Ray commercial during the Rachel Ray show. So now I know Rachel Ray's show generated 17 leads and Ellen DeGeneres generated 4. Without a tracking mechanism, it could be a response code. It could be a separate 800 number that's only on that advertisement that is trackable. We do those a lot. 800 numbers that forwards immediately to your main phone number, but we can now see the date, the time of the call, the caller ID, and how long they were on the phone with you for. So we now have, here are the leads that you got. Or it's a unique URL, it's a unique website address or a code you type in on the website to track actual results. So number 1, don't be boring. Number 2, you got to have a tracking mechanism. Number 3, you need a way for them to, a reason for them to respond right now. You need urgency. You need an honest, compelling reason why they have to take advantage of the offer now. Because by nature, humans will procrastinate, right? We're inundated, we're overwhelmed, we're going to see things, and we're going to say, can I discount that? Can I ignore that? Can I deal with that later or not at all? So it could be, we've only got 17 of these things in stock. Get it or they're going to sell out. It could be, we're having the car event on this day. If you don't come that day, you don't get your free hot dog and your face painted in the clown. You will miss out. You need a reason to, you got to give people FOMO, right? If you're missing out, you got to give them a reason why you have to respond right now. You're in or you're out right now. You have to make a decision right now. Now, for the people who aren't ready to take that next step right now, you need a down step, not a down sell, a down step. So if I'm not ready to come in and look at the Jeep and get my hot dog and my face painted right now, I need a secondary option. So if I don't come in and check out hot dog day at the Jeep dealer, I need a secondary option, which could be go to this website, give us your name and email address and your cell phone number if we're really smart, and we will send you this guide. You'll download this consumer awareness guide on 7 biggest car dealer ripoffs and how to avoid them. Now you're the honest car dealer because you're telling them, here's how other car dealers are ripping you off. If you read this, you will save money, save yourself money, and as such, you can trust us and you'll come to us and we won't do any of those bad things we just wrote about. So now you've got the people who want to test drive or check out the new Jeep are coming in for hot dog day right now. The people who aren't ready but are interested in learning more will get the consumer awareness guide on car ripoffs. And you'll have a whole new list of people you can drip on until they're ready because your customer is not ready to buy when you are ready to sell. I wish it were true. I wish every time we were ready to offer something, someone wanted to buy it and they were ready to buy it. People buy on their own timetable. They buy when they're ready. Right? I have a prospect we've been talking to for, I think, 2 months, a month, going back and forth, finalizing the proposal, answering all the questions. Hey, here's how we're going to do what we're going to do, the marketing we're going to do to grow your business. He's like, awesome, this is great. And then he goes to his wife, and his wife says, you're not ready. Not us, him. She says, I don't think you can handle the time it would take, an hour, that we need. I don't think you can handle, because they're recruiting people into their profession. He's recruiting people to come work in his office. So she's like, if this works the way it's supposed to, I don't think you have time to do all those interviews. I don't think you have time to deal with this right now. I think we need to wait until July. So it's the old, my wife won't let me yet excuse. So now I got to wait, right? I'm ready to sell. We're ready to do the work. She says he's not ready to buy. So we have to kick the can down the curb and we will now wait till July. So don't be boring. You need a tracking mechanism to know if your ads, your marketing, your messages are working. You need a reason to respond right now. I was tempted. I was almost going to say, well, fine. If your wife is right, then in 2 months, we're going to raise the price on you. We may do that anyway. Just sort of, sorry, we raised our prices. You missed out. Oh, my wonderful wife is joining us. Hi, honey. Thanks so much for joining us. So don't be boring. Have a tracking mechanism. Have a reason to respond right now. And then you need, are you ready? Differentiation. Because if you look the same as every other business that does what you do, they have no reason to buy from you. They can't tell you apart. When a prospect, when a customer cannot tell you apart from your competition, they will default to buying the lowest price option. That's the majority of the way consumers work, right? If I can't tell car wash A, car wash B, car wash C, if I can't tell them apart, I'm going to the one that's closest to me, maybe the one that's on the right side of the road so I don't have to turn left on the busy street. And by default, I'm going to the one that's cheapest. Because if they're all look the same, might as well save the money. So you have to differentiate yourself and give examples of why you are different. And the more competitive your market is, the more cluttered your marketplace is, the harder you have to try at this. So I met with a business yesterday that is in the weight loss space. Well, weight loss is a very cluttered, competitive market, right? If you are a consumer interested in weight loss, you have seen it all. You may have tried 27 different fad diets. So she can't just say, hey, lose weight, right? Because the consumer won't even see that, because they will immediately discount it as, oh, I've seen that before. So we literally have to narrow it down and make a claim is in, revolutionary new weight loss technology now available for the first time in Western New York. Now that's interesting. Why? Because it's new and it's improved. My wonderful wife's two favorite words in marketing: new and improved. She was joking. I was always joke that if anything at Wegmans says new on it, there's a new candy, there's a new snack, she will buy it. She will have to new M&M. She's got to try them. That flavor looks disgusting of M&M. If there were new bacon M&Ms, she would say, God, that sounds gross, but it's new. I got to try it. I got to at least see how bad it is. I got to see if it's good. I'm throwing you under the bus, honey. Yes, my wonderful wife says, I just want new and different. Exactly. So you have to differentiate yourself. Making it new is a good way. Making it different is even better. As my longtime colleague, Sally Hogshead, says of Fascinate fame, she says, different is better than better, because it stands out. So if you want help not being boring, if you want help implementing tracking mechanisms to determine if your marketing is working, if you want to have a reason to start right now, if you want to stand out from the marketplace and your competition, go to marketdominationllc.com. I'm following it on the bottom of the screen. Go there, fill out the form next to the sizzle reel, and then set up a time on our calendar to talk to us about how we can help you stand out in the marketplace. And I'll see you next week.